Devine, and we're going to be doing some messages today about this full moon in Gemini and what this brings in for you. I did start a little video a minute ago, but sometimes I just say too much. Okay, so we're going to start again. Again, there's 35% off the crystal store, okay? And there's a lot of different things that we're actually putting up this afternoon, so you might want to just wait a minute. We've got some beautiful incenses, holders, just really amazing stuff. And 35% off the crystal store. Certain readings are 35% off and 20% off all my courses, the Light Leaders Academy, the Divine Tarot, Semester 1, Semester 2, all of my Reiki systems, etc. And the code is just 20. I mean, for some people that was $600 off of courses, right? So really, really amazing things are happening in these groups. You have support groups with everything that you do. And so, really amazing things are happening and people are having life-changing experiences. 2023, I'm going to do a massive live reading, okay? I will be live on the camera doing some messages for the 2023, so you might not want to miss that. I might be online for a while. And Patreon's still there. You always get discounts with Patreon. And what do we got here? Okay. And the way that I'm doing things is going to be changing next year as well, to move more into alignment with my true path, which is definitely teaching. And there's going to be a lot more things that you're going to be able to just start doing. But for now, we're going to take a look at the Black Moon astrology cards to get started with this full moon messages for Gemini. It was also an interesting energy of Mars and Sagittarius, which was bringing a lot of things to the surface. So you may have noticed in the last week some people, having an issue with you, or you having an issue with somebody else, or someone being caught being dishonest and, manipulating a situation or whatever it is, right? So you may find that your true friends will stick with you, right? But you may find that the false ones are going to show their ugliness in full force and try to make out that you're the one to blame when, they've been manipulating a situation for a long time or whatever it is, and then they blame you for it when they get caught. Don't work with me. Hello, this is the work I do. You think I don't know? Right? And you all have got your intuition intact. So if something's not meant, it's not meant. Sometimes we should have said things a long time ago. I know definitely for me that's the case. So the first card that we have here is the fourth house, which is the house, the home. And this talks about our roots. It's also connected in with Cancer, right? The star sign Cancer, which is very nurturing and mothering. So what you might find because of this full moon is that you're really focusing on where you want to truly lay down roots, who you want to connect with properly, who you want coming into your home. For some mothers, this is a special hug for you, because people are missing their families right now and children, and people are separated from them and the other person won't let them see them. And there's a lot of that stuff that happens. And we made a video yesterday about this, if you haven't seen it already. But the other sort of message I'm getting here about this fourth house is to really start making plans about a better future for yourself. Like, what do you really want for your future? Because nothing is out of the realms of possibilities in your, if you are using your imagination, right? Nothing is out of the realms of possibilities here. Just a sec. I'm just tangled up a little. Wait a sec. Okay. Well, it's as good as I can get it for now, because I want to keep going with this reading. I can already tell it's going to be a good one. All right, let's fix this. Okay. Right. So nothing is out of the realm of possibility. Whatever is in your imagination can actually become your reality. And in a sense, you know, we only see what we see when we wake up in the morning because we're expecting to see it. In reality, we could actually change timelines, trajectories, positions, countries, if we wanted to, any time of the day or night. That's how powerful we are. But we just expect to see the same old things around us. And we find that it's a process. Enabling us to be able to move forward is a process. It doesn't have to be. Anyway, we'll keep on going. We have the Capricorn energy here. Capricorn uses his brain a lot, analyzes a lot of things, but also carries too many burdens and focuses their energy on life being harder. Although they're very, very successful, once they put their mind to anything, they can do it. Now, the Capricorn energy has been around us for a long time. And Capricorn is focused on resources, on finances, on governments and large corporations as well. So, you know, information and technology are starting to change. People starting to come forward. Again, more and more and more information showing now, right? So we're using our skills. We are opening ourselves up to a stable energy here. This is the earth element. Grounding yourself really, really well. You know, a beautiful grounding stones. I'll just show you real quick, just because I can see it here. This is one of my Mukite jaspers, okay? And I made this like this, a square one like this. But you know, Mukite jasper, every time I put one on, I'm really, really grounded. Of course, it's Australian energy as well. And I am going to have some pendants available that I've made too. The other one is K2 jasper. I love this. This one actually changed. I don't know if you can see it really well. It actually changed color. So it was, you know, white with the blue and some black spots. And it just became really more blue all the way over. But the K2 jasper, again, any jasper is going to pull you down in and connect you as well. So we want those stable forces. Fire quartz as well is great. Your incense, making sure you got your candles on, saging yourself, doing your declarations, centering yourself into the center of the earth, and really, really locking yourself in to that place, right? Focusing yourself on a new direction for yourself in just about every single way, right? Things are changing, and you may find that there's strange things happening with your physical body. For example, there may be a tapping sensation like this in your solar plexus, like moving fast, right? There may be that kind of sensation of fast vibration moving in around your brain and your head, your arms. You may be getting it in your knees, your legs, because we are trying to keep up with these new frequencies that are here. We're trying to move into these new dimensions and bring our physical body with us, right? So this is really happening. See the Capricorn coming up here with this owning energy of the second house. So this is focused again on our abundance, our finances, that it's changing. Things are changing. Okay. Have you unlocked your finances yet? Are you sitting there panicking about your finances? Because most people are. And it's easy to get yourself in that habit. I know. I do it too. And then I have to pull myself out of it, right? So we're going into owning. Maybe you are going to own a house coming up in the near future, or own a new car, or own a new item. But it's all about resources and our life's purpose. So the North Node brings us into our destiny, right? And there's the dogs out there. It brings us into our destiny and our purpose. So what is your purpose? Your purpose is to be happy. Your purpose is to be abundant on every level, to not stress, to understand that you have this healing energy within you. You're able to do anything, you just don't believe it, because time after time you've tried and something has happened or it hasn't worked, so you say. And that's the thing that you know, it's the attitude that we have to be honest with ourselves about, the attitude of defeat that we might have in many different ways. And the desires that we have for something to happen, but we just don't really truly believe that it's going to. You know, we have to open up ourselves to the fact that, you know, miracles happen every single day. We've got to step into that vibration of miracles in our life every single day, being grateful every day, letting go of all of the, what's the word? Like, you know, when you have more than one thing on your mind and you've got worries over here, 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 and here, and then you've got this, and that to do. And then this person, this one, that one wants something from you. And this one, you know, is just false. And this one is trying. And this one, you know what I mean? Like there's just all this stuff going on around you. And you're trying to fix it all instead of giving it all over to the universe to deal with. You know, I say sometimes throw my hands up in the air. Okay, universe, this is going to be hilarious. Show me how you deal with it. I'm leaving it all. I'm sick of it. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I just want to do what I'm doing here now, and you can deal with these sort of, you know, issues. And it always works. It's something always comes around. I've relieved myself of all this extra pressure, and it's done. Okay. So what's the final message about this full moon in Gemini? Transformation. So the Scorpio energy is really Saturn return. Okay. So the Scorpio energy is really peculiar. You know, Scorpio females are different to Scorpio males. The moon signs that you have as well because my husband's a Scorpio moon, and this really is different because he's a Pisces sun. So you've got all this water, right? But also intuition. There's some things that a Scorpio energy will do that doesn't help the Scorpio. For example, assuming or sensing stuff that's none of their business, right? So, you know, it's like you're really in tune when you're Scorpio energy. And this is what it's showing us all here. We've got this around us. Like you really are in tune to the energies of the earth, the energies of people, your situation, your places, your home, everything. You just don't realize it. And you might think about somebody, a friend or something, that name comes through your mind. And without you even realizing it, all of a sudden you're in their energy trying to figure out what's going on with them. Maybe they need you. Maybe they were trying to get a hold of you. Maybe that's why you've got them crossing your mind, right? And the only thing that can happen is it can backfire, right? So, you know, if it goes too far, for example, and too many assumptions or whatever, then, you know, you can suddenly just be really angry with this person who doesn't even know what the hell you're angry about or what's happened, right? So the Saturn return energy here as well, you know, focusing on your age that you are right now. So at 27, you have a Saturn return in everybody's life, which means all hell breaks loose, basically. Everything is flipped upside down. For most people, they have some major sort of situation happen in their life, maybe even an operation or a life-threatening condition, or a split up, and all of a sudden this chain of events happens with kids, etc., etc. And every 27 years, right? So you've got to look back. If you're over the age of 27, have a look back at what you were doing then and what was going on in your life. And if you're coming up to your second Saturn return, what lessons are you going to be learning from the first one? Like, where are you at now? So it's a very interesting energy here. There's very, very stabilizing and also impulsive and, determined energy around us right now. We're coming towards the end of the year, and we're coming, it's coming quicker than we think. And there's a lot of things that we're all trying to figure out before 2023. And one of them is to not live in fear, that's for sure. We've had enough of that over the last 3 years. We don't need it. So the Gemini full moon brought communications, sometimes communications you just didn't want to have, right? I know that happened to me this week, where I just didn't want to have these conversations. I don't want any upset with anybody. I don't wish anybody any harm. But at the same time, if something has to be said, it's inauthentic of me not to say it. Like if something offended me or upset me in some way, I've got to say it. Otherwise, it's going to fester, And regardless of the situation, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And, people who think they're perfect and, oh gosh, I never did that, you're full of it, because, we all make mistakes, right? So this transformation is key. And many of you are actually having it. Okay. Now, we've got a couple of different things that we're doing. I'm just figuring out which one I'm going to start with first. Now, I'm actually going to start with the Wisdom of Avalon, because these are beautiful cards. I don't use them too often, and why not? So, full moon in Gemini is going to bring change. We know this. So let's take a look at each area of our life that we're going to have changes and messages. Forgiveness is key here. The Wasp, anger. We did see this come up not long ago, retaliation and jealousy. Okay. All right, let's just keep going. So forgive this retaliation, anger, or jealousy. Omens and messages are coming with the hawk, right? I love that. Okay, so tell us more about forgiveness and love, of course. Tell us more about the Wasp. Movement. Okay. Movement. All right. Take a look. And tell us more about the hawk. The mystery. Okay. So what we need to always make sure that we're doing here is not staying stuck, because the Wasp can indicate that you are staying stuck somewhere in your anger. Okay. Now, again, like I said, there are going to be times when you have to say something, that you have to get something off of your chest, okay? And people always say things like, when people are called out about something or whatever, they always say they don't mean to do it. They didn't mean it. They didn't mean it. But and that's okay for one time, but when it continues, you do mean it, So people get angry about other people's behavior, their words, their deeds, getting called out, whatever it is, right? People get angry about that and they will fester on it. And, it's interesting because this can turn into punishment. So, for example, in relationships, you split up with a partner, they hate you for that. They want to punish you because they still care. So they will do everything that they can to make your life a misery at a child's expense, perhaps, right? Because they feel justified for some reason, that you shouldn't be happy, that you can't be happy without them, or whatever it is. I don't know. But they hang on to it and sting you and sting you and sting you and sting you. In a sense, we've got to also understand that we have to move past. We have to move past anything or anybody or any situation that's upset us. They've always been there for a reason, a lesson. It's not a curse. We're not hated by the divine when something goes wrong in our lives. We're not, cursed or whatever. You have multiple ways to clear and cleanse your energy through my videos here. You have multiple ways to learn about your spirituality and to bring yourself into strength and confidence. It's sad to me that there's nearly 3,000 videos and some people will still ask some questions that have already been answered 1,000 times because they can't be bothered to go look. They want someone to tell them all the time. That can't happen either, right? That can't happen either. And we have love and forgiveness for people for what they've been through, for what the world's been through, for situations, for feelings and that. But you've got to also give this love and forgiveness to yourself, for your role in anything that you've done to upset anybody else as well. There are very few people on the earth, really, out of all the 8 billion, I think it is, people on the earth, right? Out of those 8 billion, there's probably 1 billion that are designated agitators in life, that they don't want to help people, they don't like people, they want to destroy people. There's, and that's true, pure evil, right? They just have got dark attachment after dark attachment after dark attachment, and they're out to do harm. For the rest of us, we might have a tendency to get irritated or get angry about something or whatever, but it's a normal reaction, right? What most people want is for everybody to be happy with them, to be pleased with their efforts, and to just like them for who they are, right? They don't want any trouble. And that's for the most part, like across the board. I don't see often people who are really just wanting to hurt another person. And I certainly never, ever in a million years want to come across as someone that is purposely trying to hurt you for some reason, right? But there's a difference between sticking up for yourself and what you feel is right and just being a total jerk about life, right? And this is sort of like this message that's coming in is more along the lines of, if something doesn't work between you and somebody else, big deal. Move on. Be the bigger person. If you feel like what you said was justified, big deal. Move on. Be the bigger person. If you don't feel like it was right, or if you feel annoyed about it, big deal. Move on and be the bigger person. There's no point just constantly and they mean this and they mean that and they really meant to do this and this is what was really going on, and look, you're just wasting your time and you're bringing in a harsh anxiety into your life that you don't need. You're assuming, like the Scorpio does sometimes, you're assuming someone else's intentions and motives. And we've really got to be careful about that, especially in our spiritual community where we are full of support for each other. It doesn't mean someone can take advantage of you and get away with it for a long time and then act like nothing happened. That's not right either, And something does need to be said. And, unfortunately, sometimes it comes down to you being the person that has to say something. So we're moving past this. We're moving past this, anger energy. And we're moving into the messages, the mystery, the next phase of our life, the next chapter of our life. And we're doing so beautifully. Okay, so let's just take one more card as a final message of the stag. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Pride and leadership. There's not one person on this planet that can be a leader and have everybody absolutely adore them and never say a bad thing about them. It just can't happen. You know, not everybody's going to agree with everything I say or I'm doing or whatever, and that's fine because you are your individual self. But, you know, the intentions behind trying to lead with light is always just that, and trying to share knowledge, etc. But at the same time, I am a Leo. I am not going to take any BS. I won't. And I used to. I did so for years and years and years. And I think some people still think that, you know, I'm that person that they can walk over or take advantage of or whatever, but not anymore. And I have to be that way because things are getting to be more extensive. People are in courses and things, and, you know, I'm the principal of the school, basically. What am I going to do? Just say, okay, everybody, just bleed me dry. That's totally fine. You know, that it can't work that way. I need to be available for all of you. So take pride in your leadership. Know that you've been given a position of a light leadership. You've been given this position in this world. And it's here. It's not everybody's going to like it, is what I'm trying to get at. So if you're in spirituality for everyone to like you, you're in the wrong game. It's more about sharing your experiences and knowledge. Going into it, knowing that not everybody will be completely happy about that. And that's okay, because that's their prerogative as well. So we have a lot to be proud of here in this energy, and a lot more that we're going to be proud of as we move through. Look for these signs. Look for hawks, or just pictures of them, and deer as well. You know, maybe you'll see something about a wasp, and just remember to mind your anger and not retaliate. And just have forgiveness and move forward. Just have forgiveness, because that helps both of the parties, or whatever. It helps everybody. Okay, all right, let's keep going. Okay. I'm using a deck called the Before Tarot. So this is going to be kind of interesting, because these will have a little one moment before the actual tarot. So it's a slightly different sort of way of looking at things. So, okay, what do we need to know for December 2022? Everybody freaks out about the tower, but just give me a second. Excellent. Okay, so the next 3 weeks, we are in the 8th of December today. So this will be by the end of December, right? And we're going to have a look at this a little more closely. Okay. The first thing here is the Knight of Swords. Now, as you can tell, the Knight of Swords in this card is a little different to what we normally see. Okay, as I said, this is the Before Tarot. So this is before he's left the village that he lives in, and he's off to rescue you, right? So he's on his way. So this is talking about help is arriving in your life. It's coming, maybe taking a little longer than you thought, but it's definitely on its way. The Knight of Swords is also connected with Gemini, so that makes sense as well. And the Discouraged twins in Greek mythology, which we will talk about later. But it's really focused on very, very, very quickly the energy beginning to shift and change. Things have been said. The sword is up in the air. The battle has begun in many ways, in different ways, not in a bad sense, but something has begun, and now you are about to receive some information, some help, some support, some connection, some fast-moving event that takes you completely by surprise and enables you to move forward onto a brand new pathway. Now we have the hangman here who spends his time in suspension or in suspense, sort of waiting for saving, right? Waiting for, or waiting to be saved, right? And the hangman also has many other attributes with him. For example, he focuses his energy on sacrificing himself for the good of everybody else, right? Really sacrificing himself and, you know, bringing himself into he brings himself into this care and concern for others, and he does it so much that he's actually suffering. Okay, so this is an end to this suffering that you may have been going on with in an internal way. The crows are here giving you messages also. There's also this sense with the Knight of Swords here that this person is leading the charge in your fight. Even if others don't follow it, they're going to be impressed by how brave you are. I mean, these guys are impressed by him going out on his own, right? To do what he needs to do. And the hangman energy, you know, waiting for something to change, waiting, sacrificing yourself. You know, this shouldn't happen. Unfortunately, it does happen at times. So this does give a sense of patience and perseverance, but also that there's a transition going on. You see the world from a different viewpoint, and your thoughts and feelings need to be expressed. You cannot keep in this position. The Ten of Cups here, you can see they're running from a rainstorm, right? And we know the regular card of the Ten of Cups shows them all happy, the sun is out, and, you know, the miracle has occurred because there's a beautiful rainbow. And this is just before this is going to happen. So they are actually in a panic here, thinking, oh my God, this rain is really setting in. And we know a moment later that sun is coming out. And this is sort of telling us that happiness is assured for you. Don't keep looking for it and waiting for it. Instead, perhaps accept this happiness in your life already, as already being there, right? When we look at the Tower as well, so this is inevitable happiness here, but you're not seeing it because of all the rain on you right now. Trust, very soon things are going to happen. The Tower here brings, you know, a situation that there is some kind of threat of danger, right? So, you know, unfortunately, the sensation here, because the Tower hasn't been struck by the lightning yet, is that it's going to, because it's so high on this mountain, right? It's one of the highest points. It's going to get attacked here pretty soon. And the structure of this tower was all wrong in the first place, right? The structure of this was all wrong. And the energy here is about freedom, escape, liberation, and release. It is connected with Mars. It is connected with self-defense as well. And it is, if you've been feeling trapped, if you've been feeling stuck, you're about to be released, right, from that sensation. But the tower is built on a false promise as well. The old story goes with Poseidon, who ruled over the tower, gave power to King Minos, and King Minos was told that he had to give Poseidon this beautiful sacred white bull, but he didn't want to, and he kept it hidden, and tried to give Poseidon, the god of the seas, and lightning and thunder and weather, tried to give him some ordinary old bull. It just wasn't going to wash. So you see, someone trying to give you something, and you know that that's not really what was going on. You see what I'm saying? It's like we've been offered a Mickey instead of the real deal, or we've been told a lie that we have believed to be true. Now we've found out that it's not true, and we are able to escape before the tower crumbles down, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like this sensation of being in a position where someone is, or a company or a situation or a person, whatever it is pleading with you that what they're telling you is correct, but you actually know that that wasn't the deal and that isn't correct, right? If that makes sense, because you know what was going on, and here they are trying to tell you something else. Whatever it is, this has to be destroyed. Whatever is coming for you out of the blue, it has to happen. It's not going to affect your prosperity. It's not going to affect your livelihood. In fact, it's probably going to make it a lot better. But it is coming, and you need to get out of the tower and into shelter, in a sense. Like, move away from the vibration, the purpose, the connection that is causing you to be unsteady, and instead move into safer ground for yourself, right? From what we've been experiencing, there is a tumbling of the old ways of doing things. It is being erased. We are not going to have to deal with those things. We are focused instead on bigger things for ourselves as a collective, as a soul, as a person, right? And we want a different outcome to what we've been experiencing, because there's this also this sensation of tension. Okay, nothing's happened yet, but there's a little bit of tension here. And then we have this beautiful prosperity. There's the hawk again, or falcon, coming in to try to lift our energy and spirit. Now, he hasn't turned around to see that his ships are coming in right away, but he's going to in a minute. It's like they don't see that the rain's going to stop, but it's going to in a minute, right? These people don't see, they're up high in the tower and they really should get underneath. They don't see that this is about to be hit by lightning, but it's going to in a minute, okay? We can't see that help is arriving, but it's going to in a minute. This is what's going on here. And this is exactly perfect for the end of coming up in the next 3 weeks as well. So let's get a little bit of a clarifier on this particular tower, knowing that it's different from regular tarot. Okay, so why are we seeing this tower here? Give us some more information about this tower here. See? We're seeing it because the sun is... See, it's a different way of looking at the sun, right? The child is not on the horse yet, riding out to freedom, but it's about to be. Okay, so we're in that energy of success. The success is assured, but we just have some crap that we're dealing with first, right? Right there. The sun is going to come out. The sun is going to shine. The light is going to shine across the planet. And people are going to finally see what we were talking about for so long, saying the light has already won. The evil is getting taken down. The corruption is ending. But there's a whole lot of corruption around this place, right? So I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about this Sun card here. As it says in this little book. Let me see. It talks about every day is a new day. Every sunrise is a rebirth. And every sunset offers a reprieve. It says here, energy, vitality, consciousness, enlightenment, optimism, happiness, contentment, enthusiasm, joy, light, clarity, passion, action, and celebration. Okay? So the sun is a source of light and heat, bringing warmth and joy. So protection from outside forces. Okay. All right. So that's basically all it says. Okay. And one more here for the Knight of Swords. When or who is this Knight of Swords? What is this about? More information. See, it's someone coming to help us to heal. This is coming by Christmas time. This is very, very healing energy here. So this is connected with Aquarius. It is connected with Christmas. It is connected with the stork. It's connected with balance. And, you know, she has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the earth here. She hasn't started pouring her jugs in, you know, and doing that normal sort of motion that's on the tarot cards. She's in contentment and peace, right? So what is coming is contentment and peace in our lives. And someone is coming, this star card keeps continually coming up for me. So someone is coming to really help you to feel okay. Like to feel like something's finally happening, shifting and changing. To feel like there's going to be a lot of relief on this planet. To feel that all of this nonsense of, you know, killing us off and, you know, taking away our rights and locking us down and all those forced rules upon us, that is also changing as well. The dangers of things will actually come forward, and people are going to be very, very upset with how, you know, when the truth finally all comes out, how they've been played. So I'm going to ask for some final messages here. Final message of absolutely filling your own cup and being really, really happy here. When we look at the Nine of Cups, normally he's sitting on this and he's sitting there with his arms out, pleased with himself. Here he's getting ready to celebrate, okay? He's getting ready to celebrate. And he's celebrating what he knows is actually coming in. He knows that he's supported. There's some kind of partnership here. He knows that he's got the world in his hands. Okay, he's made a decision, or he's in the process of making a decision about where he's going to be, what he's going to do. He's working with his spirituality as well here. And there will be some more information coming about religion on the whole. And the Three of Coins here. So this is really going with the Three of Wands, right? Of creative energy and power. Moving past the Two, where someone is helping you and leading you and you're making a decision, into the Three, where you've made the decision and now you're activating the next phase of your life, right? And that help is available, that your skills are in demand, and that you're learning also new skills that will help you for the rest of your life, right? This is really going to be quite amazing here. Yeah, so although we're going to have this tower moment in our life, it hasn't really happened yet here. You know, we may have things happen out of the blue, and we just have to remember all of the positives that are also in here, and all of the reasons why things happen. Everything happens for a reason. And we may not realize those things right away, right? We may not realize it's actually a blessing until later on down the track. Okay. All right, I'm going to... I think my son has just come home from work. Might be. Yep. And just look underneath was the tower, okay? So, all right. So what is happening because of this full moon? Let's take a look. All right. Whew. Okay, some big things taking place already. It's to see what these cards tell us. You know, if it's kind of similar. It's funny how the tower was underneath, right? Why is that doing this? It's moving. Oh, there's a little thing there. Okay. All right, so here comes a knight. Here comes... All right. There's the Three of Wands again. Okay. Page. Okay. There's the Nine of Cups. Sorry, everyone. There's the Nine of Cups. I'm just going to put some others down here and we'll flip them over as we need. Now look at this. These are the Crow Tarot, just so you know. Okay, so look at this top row, right? All of this stress, you know, all of this worst case scenario energy. And then suddenly there is this speech, there's this information, there's communication, because we're dealing with Gemini, right? The moon of communication. And it's a fresh beginning of a way of thinking about things, a way of doing things, fresh information that will relieve you from this sensation of stress and illusions. When the new information is brought forward, it brings people together, it brings healing, it heals, it definitely, look at the heart sitting there. So it's healing the heart, it's connecting people together on common ground. And, you know, the Two of Cups is also about someone who inadvertently falls in love with someone that they're actually meant to get rid of. And, you know, they don't expect this to happen and it's just happening. And they're like been given instructions like, no, you need to get rid of this person. And they go to do the deed and are grazed by the poison arrow that was actually meant to take care of this person, so to speak, but makes them fall deeply in love. It's Eros and Psyche. It's a story of fated connections, right? It's meant to happen. So there's destiny involved here. And there's healing involved here, right? There's a connection with a blending of opposites too. And it's coming from this Ace of Swords, which is taking over this reading today, giving us this brand new start, a new way of living, looking at things, achieving things, you know, focusing on things and putting our energy into action. And this is another action card with the Knight of Wands. It's also connected in with the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups, right? So this shows a lot of activity and students, messages, people. They're all coming forth with blending goals and connections with each other, and seeing that strangers can sometimes be your best friends, right? And this community and connection, this beautiful North Star going into our destiny, right? Going into our North Node more, our our yod, or our destiny, moving into the divine, right? On the correct pathway. And it doesn't mean that everyone's going to like us or what we're doing or what we've been saying. We're kind of used to that by now, or we should be. But you have to hold your integrity. What we also have is the Nine of Cups, which was a clarifier. Again, there's a lot of similar cards in this. And it shows that we will be happy with the decisions that we've made, the emotions. The world is going to be pleased, okay? The connection of courage that you have and the ability to defend yourself is also there in the messages. But if we look here, the world has the infinite sign. It has the royal signature here, and it has the wreath, right? The laurel wreath. So this is victorious energy, and that this new portal is opening up. You know, it's balanced, but this new portal is opening up, which brings, and the crow has his wings ready to fly. We're ready to move out of this entrapment. We have courage against all of our adversities here. We stand firm in our belief systems, and everyone else can just take off and do what they want to do, right? There will be a different kind of energy that comes on this planet, because there's going to be people who are focused more on this sort of talk and being very positive about the future and embracing their lives. And there will be the others that are sorry for themselves, that are angry, that are bitter, that have this twisted energy inside of them, that want revenge, that want, I don't know what, they just want to cause trouble for some reason instead of working together. So there's going to be that kind of thing. Again, here's another ace. But we creatively and purposefully begin to focus on which direction that we're going, and we transition. The old energy dies. We're like the phoenix rising from the ashes, and we transition beautifully into this new energy. And anybody who's doing wrong, okay, anyone who's doing wrong is going to find themselves entrapped in this energy as well, of their own doing, right? So for the rest of us, we're moving into this beautiful, nurturing, kind, intuitive impulses and energy here. We have our abilities open fully and completely. We know that we have our protection around us, that we are safe from harm. The sun is coming out here. The success, the clarity is absolutely assured. And we're finding ourselves very balanced and pleased with the results. Okay. Oh my God. And we get the 10 of coins coming in. So for many of you, underneath is the King of Wands. We have our help and support with us. So for many of you, this is a life-changing time in your experience and in your life, where things are shifting to these newer levels and higher levels. You're beginning to work out who is who in your life, and you know, some people are going to go, and that's okay. Everyone's got their own pathway and journey. There are situations that really do require your attention though, and we all know what that is for ourselves. Like, we all know where we're lacking somewhere, where we don't say what we want to say and we need to, and we do know what we're feeling inside, and we don't want to have another whole year of worse circumstances, and even, you know, it's even harder to generate anything. We don't want to go into that. I will be giving everybody the declaration for 2023 coming up here pretty soon, and that will be very, very important, because it will help you to set your goals for the new year. It's very, very powerful. I do appreciate each and every one of you. I know that there are times when things are very, very challenging, you know. My purpose in life is always to just be very, very positive, to bring you information that's channeled, to share with you spiritual knowledge, to give you strength and confidence to do it yourself, because the world is going to need us. The world does need us. It's obvious. People are going to need us. Children are going to need us. The world is going to have an upheaval here. And there's nowhere for them to turn until now. So I want to thank you all who are doing the courses. Thank you for being a part of the journey. You know what I'm talking about with the training. And it's so easy to do it on your own pace, etc. But you're going to learn so much more than you can even fathom. So I hope to see you there. And for the crystal store, there's so many things that are going up on sale over this next week. So take a look. And I will catch you all really, really soon. Until the next time, many blessings, lots of love.